Hello and welcome to Thursday. Um, Today I finished a show. It's a show that I've been watching that I feel like I've been watching only for like a month or so, seriously. But these past like couple of days I really just plowed through it, like the latter half. And that show would be Code Lyoko. Now, this is a show that aired in apparently early 2000s, according to the Wikipedia article on Cartoon Network. It began airing around April 19th, 2004. So I would have been uh, just 7. I would have just turned 7. My brother would have been 4. And it ran for 4 years in France, and I'm not too sure how long it ran in the U.S., but probably a similar amount of time. It's a unique show. I think I've talked about it here briefly, but it is a show that combines traditional 2D animation with 3D CGI scenes, and it's very unique in that sense, and it sure is wild. I'm gonna save you the trouble. It's a very bad show. It is garbage, and it is not worth watching at all. Only if you grew up with the show, then maybe consider it, and even then, consider like use it as a background noise. Don't seriously pay attention to this show. It is not good. Yeah, there's so many issues with the show. I just needed something bad to watch, and this was it. Over the past couple of days, I've been heavily focusing on making a new website, which as of this moment is pretty much done. I got to do finishing touches and clean up a bunch of stuff for the proper launch in a couple of days, but we'll talk about that then. For now, let's talk about this horrible, horrible show. So it's not the worst, right? It's children's programming, and it is not great children's programming. Uh, it's fine for what it was for an early 2000s kids show that you really didn't need to keep up with. Sure, there are some plot threads that are, from season to season that you need to keep up with, and as long as you watch like the finale of each season, you're pretty much fine. It's honestly, you could do a super cut of maybe like a couple of hours as opposed to 97 episodes, and it'd be a lot easier to digest. It's oh my gosh. Basically, the whole premise of the show is you have a group of teenagers, right? Uh, eighth and ninth graders, and I believe by the end of the fourth season, they are ninth and 10th graders, which in the show they get wrong multiple times. They only change outfits in the fourth season, I think, too. So that's a whole thing. Um, oh boy, okay. So they stumble across a supercomputer. Naturally, the boy genius of the group wants to turn it on, turns it on, finds out that there's a girl trapped in the computer. He has a thing for her immediately, and he wants to set her free. He wants to explore more about this computer. So, this computer is able to access a digital world called Lyoko, which houses an evil AI known as Xana, and it also has this girl named Aelita, who they want to set free. Xana wants to take over the world or something. Who knows what their motivation is? According to the Wikipedia article, it is a fully autonomous, malevolent, highly intelligent, multi-agent system that dwells within this supercomputer. Primary objective is to eliminate anyone aware of its existence so that it will be free to conquer the real world and destroy all of humanity. who knows why, right? There are a lot of plot threads that are left that, they just don't resolve them. Unresolved, that's the word I was looking for. Uh, there's so many things. So, spoilers for a 20-year-old show that I don't want you to watch. Essentially, at the end of the first season, they free this digital girl. The computer allows them to go back in time by running a program called Returns to the Past. It's school hijinks for teenagers. Basically, they get in trouble at school. This evil AI does the weirdest stuff. From the first episode, he infects a giant teddy bear and then uses that to beat up the students. He really wants to kill the students. In one of the final episodes, he takes the I think they refer to Xan as a he, but the supercomputer takes over a satellite to shoot down a asteroid that is literally 200 million miles away, I think they said. Shoots the asteroid so that the meteors and debris from this asteroid will crash into the school and the factory that houses the supercomputer. This AI also takes over a fighter jet and, again, tries to crash it into the supercomputer. Or just the school, or just... It's ridiculous, right? There are some wild things that this computer does, and it's stupid. It is not good. A notable one is that the computer takes over a an Alien vs Predator kind of, I think like a xenomorph looking kind of thing, where they're filming like a sci-fi movie at this factory that houses a supercomputer. So the AI takes over the xenomorph suit and just wreaks havoc. Basically, they have a get out of jail free card, so anything bad that happens, people who notice the computer, people who are gravely injured or life or death situations, they just have a button that undoes everything, and they remember everything. People who have been into the supercomputer for some reason, who knows why. It's not great. Really, that's basically it. I genuinely think I've summarized the entire show. Sure, there's a bunch of other stuff that as they keep exploring more and more of this digital world called Lyoko, they are able to learn more and more about the computer, its creator, Aelita, Xana, and so on and so forth, right? But there's just so many things that are left at the end of the show. You're left wondering, none of these things got resolved. And I've learned that there is a live-action, quote-unquote, sequel that it's apparently not good. I watched, the first couple of minutes of it. It's It's also only in French, so it's not too big of a deal. Again, according to the Wikipedia article, it is not canon. And I don't think it's worth the watch. I might if I'm really out of it and just super curious, wanting to watch it, I might. But it's not great. Doesn't seem to be great. And again, this show is not great either. I know my brother and I loved it as kids. We even have the Code Lyoko Quest for Infinity video game for Wii, which I looked up takes 7 hours to beat tops, and maybe double that if I wanted 100% it, which I very well might, just to say that I beat this horrible game and I pretty much have completed everything that there is to complete about this game, right? And just done with the series in its entirety. I've read that it loosely follows season 4, so it might be fun to go through. That's really it. that's essentially the show. I described the entire show. There's, again, some other things that I'm like details that really don't matter. Um, there's, I guess, if you die in the virtual world, you just come back to the real world unless you die in a very specific way, in which case that's it. And there's just like some throwaway stuff that's it's not a great show. It's not. Don't watch it. Do not consume this media. Uh, Again, only if you really grew up with the show and you just wonder what on earth happened, because that's why I wanted to do, right. I saw that. I don't know how I stumbled across this, but I saw that it was available for free on YouTube. All it says all English episodes, all 97 of them, just freely available, and I figured why not, right? I saved it in my watch later, and it's later, so I got around to watching it, and then oh boy, it's so repetitive. More, I'd say, like at least three-quarters of the show you don't even need to watch. It genuinely is absolute fodder, and yeah, it's not great. The I can't. This is one of those things where I just like, if I can pull like this album here, I could say a lot of great things about this, the A side rather. With, you know what, here. Oh boy, this what is it, EP? Yeah, this EP. I could not say enough good things about this. This is one of those pieces of media that I feel like I could only say a couple of good things about and not um not much else. It really is not the greatest show. It exists to fill a, I guess it was cheaper to just dub it and release it in the US. And sure, it has its moments, but there's a will they, won't they kind of thing going on between these two characters, Ulrich and Yumi, through the entire show. And again, this never gets resolved. At the end, you want them to be together. Literally, the entire show, you want them to be together. But it's always a will they, won't they. The last episode is the clip show that's just like them getting nostalgic over not wanting to shut the computer down, even though they resolved what they needed to do, so they just turn off the computer. But no, they... Oh my gosh. It's not good. Sure, there are some... The moments are very few and far between, but I could not stress, do not watch this. Half of me really wants to just rewatch the entire show to cut it down to the bare essentials, and I feel like I could get that across in like 2 hours, maybe 3 tops. It's not great. Legitimately, after just skimming this Wikipedia article really quick, that's pretty much all you need to do. It's it really isn't the... Honestly, you get more from the Wikipedia article. You don't even need to read like episode summaries. Maybe like the first episode of a season and then like the last 2 episodes of a season. That's really it. It's garbage television. And that's what I wanted. But dear God, never again. I'm gonna go back to another children's show that I grew up with, Shaolin Showdown, and I'm like halfway through season 2 or something like that. So, working my way through it. I think there's like a more modern sequel of that too, and we'll see if that's good, because the sequel that this got was not. I'll have to find some other shows to watch too. This was for background fodder when I was messing around my computer for these past couple of days. So now that both of these are done, we're on to the next thing, which would be, I know The Bear has some. It's a lovely show, and I think the third season or whatever is out. Demon Slayer, My Hero. There's a bunch of anime that I need to watch. There's a lot more stuff that can fill that void, but utter garbage in the background. Ooh, I'm not so sure if I can hit that again. We'll see, but I think I've had my fill for shows aimed directly at children. Once we're done with Challenge Showdown, that is. We'll stick to another TV-14 show in a couple of days, weeks, what have you. But am I glad that I watched this? I guess. Will I ever think about this show again outside of playing this game? And then once I'm done with this game, will I ever bother thinking about this show? Never again. It's not great. It's not great. That's what I'm going to call it for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow. And until then,